Oh, that's 25. Let's go to 14. Stem Cell Research Institute. So a yes vote supports issuing $5.5 billion in general obligation bonds for the State Stem Cell Research Institute and making changes to the institute's governance structure and programs. A no vote opposes issuing 5.5 general obligation bonds for the State Stem Cell Research Institute, which ran out of funds derived from Proposition 71 for new projects in 2019. So this is extending in previous initiative, I guess. So let's read here. In 2004, voters approved Proposition 21, which created CRM issued around $3 billion in bonds and established a state constitutional right to conduct stem cell research. So this group of people have already gotten $3 billion, and they got $3 billion 15 years ago, 16 years ago going. So as of October 2019, CRM had 132 million in funds remaining. So you suspended applications for new projects due to depleted funds. So they're not doing anything new because they have no more money. In 15 years, they have spent what, we'll just call it $2.7 billion. What have we got out of it? So spend no more than 7.5 on operation costs. So only 7.5 would be in the actual cost of running the program. The remaining bond funds would be spent on grants entities that conduct research trials related to stem cells, as well as startup costs for facilities. Some of the bonds funds would be dedicated, including 1.5 for research on therapies and treatments for brain and nervous system diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and dementia. Upwards of 1.5% of the total funds would be spent on community care centers of excellence, which would be sites that conduct human clinical trials, treatments and cures. Upwards of 0.5% of the total funds would be spent on the shared labs programs, which are state-funded facilities dedicated to research on human embryonic stem cells. So what I have so far is that from the $5.5 billion they want, 1.5 billion would go for new research. 1.5% of this 5.5 billion, what? What's 1.5? 50 something million, I guess. 1.5% of 5.5 billion would be spent on community care centers that actually conduct human trials, and 0.5% would actually be in shared labs with embryonic stem cells. Again, I have no problem with stem cells being researched, but do we really want government to keep spending their money? And what have we gotten from this? Let's check. I think they've told us somewhere what we actually did get. Blah, blah, blah. You guys can read all this. I'm just going to go through some key points. What was behind the campaign surrounding the ballot initiative? Okay. All right. So let's see what's behind it. Summary: appropriate general fund monies to pay bond debt. Oh, this is not good. Ballot summary. So authorizes 5.5 billion in state general obligation bonds to fund grants from the California Institute of Regenerative Medicine to educational, nonprofit, and private entities. To educational, nonprofit, and private entities. Okay. So it's not just purely governmental work. You would give the money to other labs and stuff. Okay. For stem cells, other medical research, including training, stem cell therapy, development, and delivery research, facility construction, associated administrative expenses. All right. Dedicates 1.5 billion to research and therapy for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, stroke, and other brain and central nervous system diseases and conditions. Appropriates general fund monies to pay bond debt service. So if you guys don't know what general fund monies is, all the tax money that California collects, that's what they're calling general fund many times. They're going to use the general fund to pay back these things. So bonds are not free money. This free money eventually has to be paid back. It's a loan. It's a loan. All right. Expands programs promoting stem cell and other medical research, therapy development and delivery, and students and physician training and fellowships. Again, not against stem cell research, but do you really want the California government to go $5.5 billion more in debt? Increase state costs to repay bonds estimated at $260 million per year over the next roughly 30 years. Wait, what? That's the fiscal impact? That seems way more than the 5.5 billion. Let me calculate this. 260 times 30. I can't do that math in my head. $7.8 billion. Yeah, $7.8 billion is the total cost for this stem cell research investment. This is what I actually like to look at. I want you guys to look at. Look at the supporters of these things. All right. This is going to be a common theme in my video. I don't want to seem pro this or anti that, but I just want to make things apparent what the hell is going on. So look at all of these. D. California Democratic Party. All right. Tons of associations, medical associations, chambers of commerce. Yeah, tons of medical associations and chambers of commerce. Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I'm pretty sure all of these people benefit from these bonds, directly or indirectly. I'm not just saying societal benefit. Oh, we get to help people. No, I would want to check, well, who's giving money, which is actually what I'm gonna do at the bottom. So if you haven't read the arguments, there's arguments in this book right here. What the hell is this? California General Election, Official Voter Information Guide. So in that little book, there's a ton of information. You have arguments for and against. These are official arguments. You guys can read those there. The opposition ones. The people saying for are basically saying research is really great. Look at all these things we've done in research. When in reality, I don't want to just make it about money, but the amount of money that has been gained from this research is minuscule compared to the billions invested. And if it was any other private business, it would never have run it that way. And I know doing research for the sake of research is great, but the US is already in tons of debt. Money is out there. You could get money for this kind of research. We shouldn't have to go into debt for this kind of thing. So the arguments for it are basically saying it's really good for us in the scientific community. The arguments against it, basically saying we're already in debt. We already have financial and fiscal troubles. All of us. The state is going broke. If you guys don't know, California is not the most fiscally safe state out there. All right. So the main arguments for, it's good for science. I'm not denying it. The main arguments against, it's bad fiscally speaking. And I know science sometimes always money, but everybody's in a recession. Everybody's hurting. The state should not have to borrow more money. And let's look at this. Support. We have yes on 14. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look how much the support was. There's nobody donating money to oppose this, because who wants to oppose science? It's just kind of weird. Like, it's really hard to be like, yeah, it is kind of just weird to spend money on to oppose it, but there's been $10 million, close, $9.2 million to get this to pass. Californians for Stem Cell Research, Treatment, and Cures. These committees, well, you would have to check who's in the committee, because sometimes it's a double-edged sword when the people that are going to be receiving money are making committees. That committee is kind of untrustworthy. So donors, Robert and Klein, I don't know who that is, Doug McDalby, Juvenile Diabetes, oh, they did donate. Open Philanthropy Action Fund, okay, cool. And S. Sukamoto, don't know who that is, but $9 million. Support, lots of supports. We have down here, path to the ballot. Okay, so that's it. This is more about whether you want California to go more into debt or not. Basically where I'm leaving it at. Stem cell research is great. I don't personally want California to do it or spend money to do this. So I'm going to vote no. Whatever you do, that's on you. Make your own decision. 14, done.